Hey, it's Minimalist Gourmet, and today I'm going to show you how to spatchcock a chicken and bake it with a fantastic compound herb butter. Let's get crack-a-lackin'. For our herb butter, we're going to begin by mincing up about 5 or 6 cloves of garlic. I've got about 3/4 of a stick of butter that I've allowed to come up to room temperature. To this, we're going to add in our garlic along with some spices and seasonings. Of course, we need a good amount of salt as well as some ground black pepper. You can use your favorite type of dried herbs, but I'm going to be using a mix of thyme as well as some oregano. And of course, you can customize this for whatever flavors you like. Now we just need to mix this thoroughly until it looks a little bit something like this. All right, go ahead and set this aside for just a few minutes. All right, let's go ahead and start working on our chicken. The first thing we need to do is actually flip this over because we need to access the spine, which is here on the back. The spine runs just like this from top to bottom, and we need to remove it. The easiest and safest way to remove that is with a pair of kitchen shears. This is called the bishop's nose, and I use it as a bit of a guide. Align your scissors with the side of that and start trimming straight up. You will be cutting through some very thin ribs and such as you cut, so just take your time and continue working up until you reach the top. Now we need to just repeat that same process, but cut on the other side of the spine, working our way from the tail up to the head. Now, once you guys reach the top here, your spine should pull away just fine. The chickens here in Thailand come with all their pieces still attached, so I need to cut this extra little flap of skin so I can remove the head and the spine off in one piece. Now, chances are your bird won't have any legs, but if they do and you need to remove them, this is how. What you want to do is find the joint here and use your thumb to feel between the bones where there's a little bit of a gap. You're going to cut through the skin just on the top layer here, and once you've done that, you're just going to press down with the knife, and the legs come off easy peasy, lemon squeezy. There's just one last cut we need to make that's going to allow the bird to sit nice and flat when we flip it over. We're going to use our knife to make a couple of shallow cuts just straight down through all of this connective tissue in the chest cavity. You're going to run into the keel bone or the breastbone, which is right there. Now, some people like to remove this, which is totally optional, but you need to cut down so this can kind of pop out, and when we flip it over, the bird's going to sit nice and flat. I like to leave the bone in because I think it adds extra flavor. Now rinse the bird with some water in the sink and give it a good dry with some paper towels on both the inside and the outside. And as always, recipes in the description below, so definitely go down and check that out. And while you're down there, maybe consider giving this a like, share, comment, or subscribing. I'd love to hear from you. I like to put my compound butter underneath the skin because the flavor penetrates the meat so much better. Skin was designed, after all, to keep things out. We do need to separate the skin from the meat, and this is fairly easy to do. You want to use something like your finger or the end of a dull spoon to gently pass it between the skin and the meat and just kind of slide it along. It should peel apart pretty easily. The important part here is you don't want to be too aggressive. You really don't want to poke a hole in that skin. Just take your time and work your way around. After you've done both the breasts, you need to move on and do the thighs and the drumsticks as well. I really think that a spoon handle works even better in these situations here. As you can see, you have a nice long reach. The spoon handle is so thin that it really has a very small chance of ripping the skin. Just take your time and you won't have any problems. And now we need to load some more compound butter into those cavities that we just made. Just take a small scoop of your butter and gently put it in just like this, scraping it off with your finger. We're going to load in a couple of dollops here, and then we want to just take our hand and gently spread it out over the entire surface of the meat. And of course, we're going to repeat this same process for the thighs and the drumsticks. We're going to come in from the side here where we made that cavity, put a dollop of our compound butter, and make sure to spread that out. With these pieces of meat down here, it's a little bit more critical. You really want to take your time and work that all the way down into the nooks and crannies of the legs here. That way, everything is going to be well seasoned and absolutely delicious. I had a little bit of compound butter left over, so I'm going to go ahead and rub down the exterior with that. It's going to help this taste absolutely delicious and crisp up nicely in the oven. Also, make sure to hit those wings because we didn't get anything between the meat and the skin on those guys. I also like to hit the inside of the chicken here with just a dash of salt to make sure that everything is well seasoned. I've got my toaster oven tray lined with some aluminum foil. I'm going to go ahead and hit this with just a little bit of olive oil and spread this out to make sure that nothing sticks, and it's going to add a little bit of flavor and help everything crisp up a little bit. I like to cook my chicken on a bed of vegetables. It helps raise it up so it cooks evenly. It's going to add a little bit of flavor. I actually like to eat the vegetables, and if you want to make a gravy with the drippings, it's going to help increase the flavor quite a lot. I'm pretty traditional when it comes to the vegetables here. I like to start with a carrot that I just quarter up. The same thing with celery. We have Chinese celery here, but it's the same as you guys will have. We just cut off the end of the root here, cut them into halves, and then put them on the tray. Finally, I'm going to take an onion that I've peeled. I'm going to trim the top and the bottom off, cut it into 4 pieces, and then I do like to break these up into individual petals. I think that spreads the flavor out a little bit and helps it caramelize. We have our nice bed of vegetables ready, and we're going to put our spatchcock chicken on top, skin side facing up. We're going to bake this in a preheated 450-degree oven for about 45 minutes. Let it sit at room temperature for about 10 minutes after cooking to rest. Now you see these drippings right here? This is a flavor explosion, and we are absolutely not going to let that go to waste. We're going to go ahead and collect this and put it into a cup so we can use it for our gravy. I'll put a link on the end card for my video of how to turn these chicken drippings into an absolutely delicious chicken gravy. You know what a chicken's favorite subject is in school? Egonomics. With our chicken rested nicely, it's time for us to go ahead and carve it up. And we're going to start here with the wings. Cut through the skin and a little bit of meat that's there, and then you're going to take the wing and pull it and twist it until the joint separates. You'll feel a little bit of a pop. Then you're just going to take your knife and push it straight down through that separated joint. The legs come off easily as well. We're just going to take our knife and run it down through the skin and the meat between the breast and the leg just like this. Now if we pull back on the leg as a unit, it should pop out pretty darn easily, just like this. To separate the leg from the thigh, we need to begin by cutting just through the skin and the meat on this side. Remember, you're not cutting through any joints or any bones. This will allow us to open up the thigh from the leg here and expose that joint where they connect. In fact, if you look right here, you're going to be able to see the two bones that connect them. What you're going to do is place your knife right there in that gap and you're going to press down. You're not cutting through any bones, it's just a little bit of connective tissue. Finally, to separate out the breasts here, since we've already cut down to the keel bone, we just need to go offset to that same side, run our knife down through the meat, and then right down here, we're going to press down and cut through that last little bit of cartilage, separating out both of our breasts. And guys, it really is just that easy. Thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see y'all again here next week on the next episode of Minimalist Gourmet.